What's up guys, my name is Devin and welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. In today's video, we're going to be doing another episode of the What Players Wear on the Field, and today we're going to be talking about Saquon Barkley of the Philadelphia Eagles. Just in case you guys are new to this series or just need a quick refresher about what we do, we take a player for this episode, it's going to be Saquon, and we talk about their gear, head to toe, helmets, cleats, gloves, and everything else. We're going to tell you guys what the gear is, a little bit about it, and where you guys can even buy it for yourself. Before we get in the video, make sure you guys comment down below who you guys want to see featured next week. We are trying to focus on guys that are still playing in the playoffs. Let's get into the video. As always, we gotta start off up top, which means it's time to talk about the helmet. This season, Saquon has switched into the Riddell Axiom. During his time in the league, Saquon has worn just about every single helmet. He's worn the Speed Flex, the Shut F7, the Visor 01, and now the Axiom. The Axiom is the newest football helmet from Riddell and is slowly becoming more and more popular in the league. It's currently the 7th highest scoring helmet on the Virginia Tech helmet rating scale, and of course, a 5-star rated helmet. This new helmet has 4 flex panels, one on the front, one on the back, and then one on each side. Just like the Speed Flex, these work to flex and absorb some of that impact. The next key to this helmet is their True Fit system. Every one of these helmets is custom built for the player. A Riddell Rep will come by, scan your head, and they will build you custom pads for a unique, personalized fit. I usually don't love the look of the Axiom, but it actually works pretty well for Saquon. If you guys want to grab one for yourself, you're going to have to contact your local Riddell Rep. They're not currently available on the site, and that's just because of the custom fit process. You have to get your head scanned, so you can't just go to the store and buy it. Next up, we got to talk about his face mask. He's rolling with the AX-W-2EG-SW-HP-S Facemask. This is one of the better face masks that have come along with the second wave of masks with the top bar added for the Axiom. As you guys probably know, when the Axiom first came out, they did not have a top bar and players and fans did not like how they looked whatsoever. This specific mask that Saquon is in has 2 sets of jagged eye guards up top and then some angled ones down below in the lower portion. These jagged eye guard masks have become very popular this season, and like I mentioned earlier, this is one of the better masks for the Axiom. I think these top bar masks make the helmet just look so much better. If you guys want to get this same exact face mask, Green Gridiron has them on their website for $140. The next piece of his helmet setup is going to be his visor. He's been rolling with the new style of the Oakley visor designed specifically for the Axiom. Since the Axiom face masks have some strangely placed sidebars, Oakley was forced to relocate the clips more towards the middle of the face mask. Now this is certainly a look I can't stand, and I hope they come up with some sort of fix for this. I also don't think it's a good idea for them to be in the middle because they are more likely to be knocked off the bars, just like in this picture of Saquon. Regardless, he has worn the new visor in most games this season. I'm pretty sure he's worn both a totally 100% clear and then one that is a slight bit tinted. Visors are always a good addition to any helmet setup because they give you some added eye protection and they also make the helmet setup look 10 times better. As far as these Axiom specific Oakley visors, I'm unable to find any available. I'm sure this is something they're working on to drop hopefully for the 2025 season. Also, just so you guys know, every single product that we talk about will be linked down in the description below, so you guys can directly shop Saquon's locker down there. The next piece of gear is going to be his mouth guard. Saquon has opted to roll with the True Fit Vapor Bite mouth guard. These mouth guards don't cover all of the teeth, and these ones specifically are actually intended for non-contact sport, but when you've got money like Saquon, you can afford to fix your teeth if necessary. Regardless, it's just a boil and bite custom mouth guard, and if you guys want to get one for yourself, they're $125 on TrueFitCustoms.com. The next thing we got to talk about is something Saquon doesn't wear, a DryMax chin saver. Here's Tony with some more info on our channel sponsor, DryMax.
Today's video is brought to you by DryMax. Now, if you're familiar with our channel, you've seen DryMax on a ton of guys across the NFL, including CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Ramsey, Justin Herbert, and Jamar Chase. But honestly, we could be here for a really long time if we went through every guy in the NFL that wears DryMax chin savers or their socks. And we actually have videos explaining how the technology works in the DryMax socks and the DryMax chin savers you can check out too. Essentially, DryMax is a company that specializes in moisture transfer and antimicrobial products. They sell the chin saver, which comes in the tube and the easy on and off version with that strip of Velcro. And they sell tons of different sock styles worn by different guys across the league. Here's how it works. The super hydrophobic DryMax fiber layer that rests against your chin is also infused with coupon copper. That copper releases millions of ions, which helps improve your skin's health and appearance. Worn regularly next to your skin, the coupon copper has been proven to improve your skin's elasticity, softness, appearance, tone, and texture. The most important part for me though is the hydrophobic fibers, which pulls all the moisture away from your skin, keeping you dry. This is why the socks are so popular in the league, keeping your feet dry and odor free. Now, if you want to learn more about DryMax socks and their chin saver covers, visit all the links down below where we have links to both of our videos we put out and their website. Again, thanks to DryMax for sponsoring this video. Back to it.
The next thing we got to talk about is shoulder pads. For the first 4 seasons in the NFL, he was in X-Tech pads, but he has since switched to the Pro Sports shoulder pads. Pro Sports was formerly branded as Pro Gear and one of the more underrated shoulder pad brands on the market. I'm pretty sure he's in their Skill ST series pads, which as the name suggests are built for skill players. They have a pretty standard air management system, a strong outer shell, and swivel belts to secure the pads to the body. I honestly don't know too much about them, but I'd love to get my hands on some for a review. They seem to be pretty lightweight and they've done a good job protecting Saquon this season. These pads also come in at a pretty good price point. They're about $350 for the pads and another $45 for the backplate, so you're all in for under $400. The next thing we got to talk about is an accessory he wears under his shoulder pads, his Zoom Bang padded compression shirt. These shoulder shirts have become pretty popular in the NFL and a great little accessory to give you a little bit more protection when you're out there battling. Their poly shield material in the padding does an amazing job absorbing impact and keeping the wearers safe. Saquon has been rocking one of these for a bit now, and if you guys want to get one for yourself, the adult one is $65, and you guys can get a youth one for $55. Next up, we got to talk about a pretty uncommon accessory for a running back, an elbow sleeve. Now, in the year 2025, we only see a few running backs wearing elbow accessories, and Saquon is one of them. We've seen him wear a couple different types of elbow sleeves, and the first one is a Nike Hyper Strong sleeve. He only wore it for a bit of the season on his left elbow. Now, I'm not sure if he was dealing with an elbow injury or something, but again, kind of a peculiar accessory for a running back. Also, the one he wore the most was black and red, which is a little strange because, of course, there's no red in the Philly uniforms. But if you guys want a Nike elbow sleeve for yourself, they're out there on eBay. The other elbow sleeve he wore this season was the Go elbow sleeve. Now, this is a super fancy elbow sleeve with all sorts of crazy science backing it. I've personally never heard anything about them previously, but they seem pretty legit, and if Saquon trusts them, they must be pretty good. He wore it in their black colorway for a few games. I don't really know too much else about it, but if you guys want one, they're $90 on their website. Next up, we've got another arm accessory he wore for a couple games, a forearm sweatband. He wore them in mostly black with his number 26, but he also did wear a plain white one. Now, these are just a simple little accessory, and the number 26 on them is a super nice touch. I feel like we've been seeing more and more guys add their number to their gear, and I think it's a sweet look. If you guys want a custom sweatband with your number, I did some research and found a couple different options over on Etsy. The next thing we're going to talk about is a key piece of equipment for a running back, football gloves. This season, Saquon has worn 3 different glove models, and the first one we're going to talk about is the Nike Superbad 6.0. He has worn these this season in 2 colorways, Kelly green and white, and then black and white. Saquon has been rocking Superbad gloves for a while now. These gloves are basically made for guys like him, guys who want a little bit of protection when going between the tackles, and then super sticky palms to run with the ball and catch it out of the backfield. They are the perfect glove for Saquon. It's no wonder he's been wearing them for so long. And if you guys want to grab a pair, they do have some pairs available on Dick's Sporting Goods for $60. The next pair we're going to talk about is the pair he's worn the most this season, the Nike Superbad 7.0. Now, of course, these are the next version of the gloves we just talked about. He's worn them in 3 different PE colorways, black, green and white and green. These gloves have the Eagles logo on the palm, and the colorways are pretty sweet. These are definitely some of the best looking Nike PE gloves. And again, these have the padded back of hand and then plenty of grip on the palms. If you guys want to get a non-PE version, they are about $60 from Dick's Sporting Goods. The final pair he's worn this season is a pair he only wore for 1 week, a Nike Superbad 8.0 prototype. As you guys could probably guess, Saquon is one of the most important athletes on Nike's roster. Because of this, Saquon is one of the guys that they seed the new prototypes to test them out and make any necessary tweaks before they release them to the public. Saquon, of course, wore them in an all-white colorway so they could fly a little bit under the radar, but of course, I was able to spot them right away. Now, these gloves aren't going to come out till 2026 at the earliest, but they look to be pretty similar to the last couple pairs of Superbads. They're lightweight, they have good padding on the back of hand, and of course, sticky palms for catching the football. I know we've only seen them in this one colorway, but they're a pretty sweet looking glove, and I'm super stoked for them to release. The next thing we gotta talk about is his custom Trey decal thigh pads. Trey decals are one of my favorite accessories in football. They're a sweet way to showcase a logo, message, or number on your thigh pads that show through on game day. For Saquon, he's worn them this season with his number 26 and his SB logo on the other pad. He's been rocking these for a while now, and I always think it's a pretty good look. If you guys want some of these for yourself, they have a bunch of options over on TreyDecals.com. And finally, we gotta talk about cleats. This season, Saquon has worn 2 different models of cleats. The first model is the Nike Alpha Menace Elite 4 PE. Now, he's worn these pretty much all season in a bunch of different Eagles-themed colorways. He's worn them in white and black and green and black and silver and black. Again, these are PE, so they have some details unique to Saquon. On the tongue of these, it has his number 26 in Roman numerals. I'm sure there are more details on the inside of the tongue and then on the insole that we can't see. The Nike Alpha Menace Elite 4 is the perfect cleat built for guys like Saquon. Strong, fast, agile. These cleats and this traction plate allow him to make all his crazy cuts and run all over defenses. These are one of the best big skill options on the market, and they retail for $210, but they're pretty much on sale everywhere you look. The final pair he's worn this season is the LeBron 4 cleats. He's worn these a couple times this season in a silver colorway. These have a couple cool details like the number 23 on the heel loop and then the cool texture on the upper. These cleats have the same Alpha Menace traction plate as the Alpha Menaces, so he gets the same stability and ability to cut. And of course, they're a pretty sweet looking pair of cleats. If you guys are trying to get the LeBron 4 cleats, they did release to the public in a Fruity Pebbles colorway, and if you guys want to get those, they're available on eBay, Go, and StockX. There you guys have it. There's Saquon Barkley's game day gear, head to toe. Lots of good stuff in there. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to like the video. Comment right now who you guys want to see featured next week, and make sure you guys subscribe for more videos just like this one. My name is Devin, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Footballrs.